People, what's up? I'm gonna start this off by saying this, right? To the people who are doing astrological videos, this is just advice. You don't gotta take it. You know what I'm saying? This is just my advice to the people doing this. You would want to talk about dark sides and light sides combined in one video. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna make a profession out of this. I just got good responses before. My first time doing a astrological video on YouTube, I got good responses, and it was about in response to a Scorpio, what a Scorpio was actually saying about a Pisces. So again, I'm coming in the defense of a Pisces, right? This time it's from a video that was basically describing the dark traits of a Pisces. Now, you'd probably be surprised to how much I agree to the things that were said. And the thing is, you got to understand, especially with duality signs, you got to understand the nature of a dark side is complemented by a light side. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm coming in defense as a mature Pisces would. A mature Pisces is primarily going to be on the defense about pretty much everything. I think young Pisces is more on the offense and offensive, and that's how they get in a lot of trouble in their younger years. So let me just get into it because that's part of what I'm basically going to explain anyway, right? This is in response to a dark side Pisces video. All right. Person said something about starving artists and unreasonable when people critique their stuff. Starving artists, there is a huge truth to that. And unreasonable when people critique their stuff, I wouldn't say that. Let me explain to you why, right? Let me go in depth here. Starving artists, Pisces, is probably because, like I said, when Pisces are young, they are highly naive and susceptible to all types of dangers and troubles, and they're very curious. I don't think curiosity ever leaves a Pisces. However, the willingness to engage in like almost every and anything is high at a young age. So you got to understand, a Pisces is very, how should I say, susceptible, like I said before, susceptible to trends. So if something's hot right now and everybody's like, oh, this is hot, this is hot, this is hot, everybody's doing this, Pisces is going to be like, yeah, this shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do this shit too. You know what I'm saying? I bet I could do it good too. Like, that's just how we are when we're young. So starving, what we figure out is starving artists actually comes from people not taking that advantage. We like to be used. That's number one, right? So I wouldn't say from people taking advantage of us. We like to be used is from people using us incorrectly. And we, like, the money may be good and everything, and we may be having a good time allegedly until we realize that, and this is what happens with a lot of Pisces. We turn to drinking, we turn to drugs, we turn to binging, partying, waking up with our cocks glued to our leg, and we don't know the person that we just slept with because we are just so far out there and being utilized incorrectly by other people who are in power. Now, what happens to mature Pisces as Pisces start to mature is they start to realize who's in power, who's in control, why they're in control, and a Pisces will think that they'll have an epiphany and think that they all of a sudden have invented this game, and that's why they were put in such a position as they were as a youngin, and then that's when they start to grow and that's when they start to mature. So I would say unreasonable would be when people are critiquing their stuff. I wouldn't say that. I'd say that they've probably failed at doing something the way that other people are doing it. And I wouldn't say they failed at being original. Like, it's easy for a Pisces to mimic something or mimic somebody and be way better than them at doing what they're doing, right? It's just something that sits at the seat of their soul that eventually says, you know what? That's not even really you. Once the Pisces starts growing and starts knowing themselves more, they're like, you know what? It's time to advance. We know the stages of advancement that are supposed to come. And if a Pisces doesn't take advantage of that, that is when they get stuck in the rut and can stay involved with drugs and criminal activity and stuff like that. All right. So you got to understand, when people are critiquing their stuff, like, I'll give you an example. Like, I used to rhyme when I was younger, right? And people loved when I rhymed. Every time I rhymed, it was like a huge thing. It's a big deal. Like, people are still talking about it today. You know what I'm saying? But it came a time when the industry, like, and this is what I learned in school as well. Like, when something is demanded by is demand driven, then you should supply it, right? As a business person. However, when some people will get egotistical and they'll just supply, they'll be supply driven. So it's like, oh, I think I got this new idea that's great on people, so I'm gonna force that on you when you didn't even demand that. Like Pisces has a idea of how to do that, right? However, they'll understand that people are not ready for this stuff. Oh, y'all not ready for this. You know what I'm saying? And they'll know why. It's because, okay, you're used to trends. You're used to what's trending. You're used to what's hot right now. You know what I'm saying? So they remove themselves from that. So you can't really say that people are, that they're not responding to, they're not being reasonable to what is demanded of them. A smart Pisces will just say, well, you know what? I'm not going to rap anymore. You know what I mean? Let you guys figure it out on your own. Like if this is the type of stuff that you guys like listening to, then there's nowadays there's like 1 million artists that are doing this, and there's going to be 1,000 more behind them in the next week that's going to come out with the same type sounding record with the same type beat, because the producers are doing the same thing. All right, and the people who are signing them, they all following what worked. All right, which is good for business if you're just solely based on monetary gain. That's what you do. All right, so from a person who's looking to profit off of a Pisces or to utilize a Pisces incorrectly because they know that they have a high skill to mimic people, then yes, that will get you upset, and you will say that is a negative trait of the Pisces. The Pisces should listen to me and do this because we're going to make a lot of money. If it doesn't sit well with the Pisces, it's not going to be long term. So you should, but you know, these are the days where a lot of things are freed up to make quick money and fast money. So again, I don't blame you for perceiving things that way. I'm just telling you why a Pisces would respond in that type of way. Now look, I'll give you a good example, right? Bruce Willis is a Pisces, and Bruce has been in a lot of movies, right? A lot of movies, a lot of good ones too. And let's take Die Hard for instance, the trilogy, right? Like, masses of Americans, they're big on action movies. They want to blow stuff up, the cars flip over, the guns are shooting and everything, this, that, and the third, right? However, it's that other crowd out there that you may not take a chance on, like the sci-fi crowd and stuff. Now it's blowing up, it's getting huge, right? You got a genre that's respecting that more. I'm just saying, like, what's predominantly produced and pushed in American culture is the action movie, right? So of course, Die Hard blew up. Now, I won't say that people were, like, you could look at that as an aspect because, like I said, Pisces are very good at mimicking what they see or whatever or what they hear, or you give them a script, they'll turn it out, right? Now, you may hear that we are spiritual people, or we have this sense of being in touch with the souls and stuff like that, which is true. We believe so, right? So what happened when Bruce Willis did Sixth Sense? It blew up. It was huge, right or wrong, because he was in his element there. Like, I don't know Bruce, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't even know Bruce Willis. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking from a Pisces perspective, that even though people did not expect him to do no role like that, you know what I mean? They wanted McClane, if you think about it. You know what I mean? And I can name numerous amounts of other movies that he played in. That's what their ideal vision of Bruce Willis was. However, he did Sixth Sense and it blew up. All right? So that's how you gotta look at it when you, like, everybody thought it was weird, like, right? He's talking to dead people, but the end, like, the script was so good, and Bruce did such a good job that the movie it's one of his greatest movies. If you ask me, it's definitely one of his top 5 movies. It's in the top 5, right? So I'm just saying that. Also, Pisces don't like to surrender. Like, Pisces have a problem with authority. So we don't like being rushed. So if you are, you're saying, oh, we know this Pisces is talented, we know this Pisces is talented. You know, the whole family might be weighing in on the Pisces talents. Industry execs everywhere may hear about these talents and be weighing in on it and pushing it and say, oh, you know, he's got to get it together. He's got to, you know, he's not motivated enough and this, that, and third. And it's like, we already know what you out for. You know what I'm saying? And if we think it's not that we're a waste of talent, it's just like, look, for the most part, you heard we're old souls, right? So it's like, for the most part, we've done all of this already. That's why I'm telling you, we come to this epiphany that we probably designed and created this whole shit, because it's like, yo, we know what you're after. We know what you want. What do we want, though? Are you even considering what we want? It's not that we don't want to do business with anybody, or we don't want to make money, and, you know, we don't want to make great art. No, we do, and, you know, we're highly capable of doing it. It's just that, what is your role in it? You know what I mean? People want to put the lazy thing on Pisces, which I'm about to get to too. It's not that. What is your part? What do you do? Are you the type to just sit down and demand and point your finger and think you're gonna throw your weight around or your money around to think that that's supposed to like either impress us or scare us? No, not advanced Pisces. Like we're not. Once we figure it out, you're gonna have a very, very, very tough time. And we'll probably, Pisces are so diverse as they mature that they don't put their eggs in one basket. So they're not even gonna depend on art. They may be in research somewhere. They may be in tons of different stuff. So we don't have to rely on that. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me keep going because there's a lot of things that this person mentioned that was negative about Pisces. No boundaries. I'd have to agree with that. We definitely push past boundaries. You know what I mean? And for us, it's just as simple as saying, "No, I don't like that," or I don't want you to talk to me like that," or "I don't agree with you." It's just that simple. However, expect us to push the envelope. Expect it. We're not afraid to push the envelope. I'm talking about anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything we question and challenge, anything, just because things are set in a certain order does not mean it's written in stone. Things change all the time. And Pisces, we're fishes, we swim through the river, we swim through currents. So you gotta expect us to be looking for change on a constant. Although some things will remain the same, we're aware of that as well. However, you gotta push boundaries. Pisces are the type of people that will push a boundary, straight up. And to tell the truth, a lot of people appreciate that about us. So I would say that that's a part of the dark side. That is pretty much true. Now, thieves, Pisces are highly independent. So I wouldn't say if a Pisces got to take something from you, probably going to do it by themselves. They probably don't want no co-defendants, and they're probably going to be real sneaky about it, and it's probably going to be a dire need, like they absolutely need it, or it's a damn near death consequence. But Pisces know how to do without a lot as well. So you might see a Pisces in a situation where thieving may look enticing because they're not in the best situation. However, they've been thugging it out so long and learn how to do with what they have that thieving is it's probably the last thing on the list that a Pisces would do, because you got to really be strung out or something like that. And even then, I know some strong Pisces, man, that been in the dirt, man, besides myself, that just they don't result to that. It's still not classy, even if they're fucking twisted off of fucking cocktails or whatever. Superhuman powers, but full of shit. And I'm laughing, right? Because yes, we do have the tendency to believe that we have superhuman powers, and Pisces with close friends, they'll come out and tell you about them. If the person is full of shit, then I don't know. You know what I mean? However, if you got some Pisces out there who feel that they are superheroes or have this superhuman strength at some time that just comes over them at some time, talk to their friends. Talk to their friends, and I bet you they have at least 2 to 3 stories about their Pisces friend who did some miraculous, strange shit that they've never seen before in their entire life until that Pisces did it. Keep it in mind. I'd love to see a comment or a video in response to this, because I'm telling you, right? Now, just another thing, let's talk about Bruce Willis, right? What was that with Samuel Jackson when they played the superheroes and everything? Another great movie. You see what I'm talking about? When Pisces are in their element, when they're in their realm, they make the greatest art. So keep that in mind. Business leaders, I'm talking to you guys too. The negotiators, the financiers. Come on. I know what I'm talking about here. All right. High and mighty, preachy. And this is in the spiritual sense, in the spiritual realms. Now, I'd say this, right? We do have a high sense of authority when we're speaking. We feel like we're the Obi-Wan Kenobi of things. Yes, it's true. And this is talked about as a dark side Pisces. Yes, this is true. All right. However, don't get it twisted. We know we are highly capable of saying something that sounds twisted tomorrow. Straight up, like that. So that is why I said you gotta balance when you're doing videos about Pisces, right? Or this goes for any sign. You gotta balance the dark with the light so you'll understand the darkness. You know what I'm saying? We're doing that because something in that moment has us perceive something in a particular way. I'm coming back with part 2.